Welcome back, lovely viewers. So in this part of the video, we are going to complete this task, these three tasks. That is, the task number one is create a new repo and push our first project. Number two is preview dashboard templates. Number three is what? Set it up in our Laravel project. All right, so let's handle this. The first task first. The first task. So I would want you to go to your GitHub profile. You want to set for GitHub and go to your GitHub profile. I believe by now you all have created a GitHub account. Okay, so what you would want to do is you would want to click on this plus sign and click on new repository. So when you click on new repository, it's going to give you the platform to create a new repository. So you give it a name of your desire. For me, I'm going to do it YouTube SMS web app. So down here, you want to give it any description of your choice. So okay, so here you decide to make it whether public or private. So public, everyone can see it and download the source code and use it for him or herself. But at the moment you make it private, only authorized people can access this particular Git repo. Okay, so I'm going to make mine public. So you can press on your create button and you wait for it as it creates. So it gives you this particular this code, this block of commands to run in your terminal. So I would want you to just press your Windows plus and the left arrow and you go to your text editor. So in our last video we ended here. So what I will want you to do now is I will want you to close all the tabs, yeah, and pull out your terminal. So you want to initialize Git into the project. So in order to initialize Git into your project, you will want to type the Git init. Alright, so I've successfully initialized Git into the project. So I would want to add whatever that I've done here into the Git repo. So here I'm going to give a comment. So the comment is more like a comment that whenever you want to refer back to your codes, you can look at that comment to understand what you did at that particular time. So I'm just going to do created migrations. So you customize it as you desire. So you wait for some time. For me, I've done some configuration in my system. So anytime I'm pushing to my Git repo, I would have to sign in first before I can get access. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Alright, so now you copy the next code, which is this one. Put it down here and press your enter, and also copy this. Please, with all what you're doing, you have to make sure that you have internet connection before you can run this code successfully, because you are pushing it to your Git profile, which is online, right? So you give it some time for it to push the project, and you have successfully made your first push. All right, so congratulations to you. You have been able to push your project to GitHub. Give me a thumbs up if you were able to do it successfully. So you can see that we pushed our project into our Git repo. So when you look at our first commit, you realize that created a migration. This is the commit assessed for the commit, right? Okay, so we've completed our first task. So let's talk about the template, the dashboard template we are going to use. So this is the dashboard template we are going to use. I'm going to put the link to my Git profile to download this particular source code. all right, in the video description. So this is the dashboard we are going to use. We're not going to use a lot from it. We're just going to use some minor parts, just like the sidebar and some tables and other stuff. That's what I'm going to use. Nothing much. So you can see here that here they have their tables here where you can see some actions. But then most of the things we're going to build them ourselves with HTML and JavaScript, like the filter that you saw in the video preview, in the project preview. The filter and all those things are not provided by the dashboard. We are going to do it ourselves. All right, so this is a short preview about what the dashboard looks like, and this is the dashboard we are going to use. You can see the beautiful loader and all those things. We're going to use a little bit of these features, right? Okay, so I think we've been able to successfully um, we successfully completed previewing the dashboard. So would now we are going to insert. Okay, now we are going to try to tackle task 3, which is set it up in our Laravel project. So we will be setting the dashboard template in our Laravel project. Now I would want you to go to your VS Code or your text editor. I'll put the link to download the template, the dashboard template, in the video description, right? Okay, so what you would want to do is you would want to you go to the dashboard, right, where we have the source code, and you look for the index.html. You right click and open with your text editor, that is VS Code. For me, I'm using the VS Code. So now that we've opened our text editor with the index file of the dashboard, what you would want to do is you want to go to resource. The Laravel framework uses this architecture, the MVC architecture. So the M stands for the model, the V stands for the view, and the C stands for the controller. So basically, the view is more like the view contains all things that talks about the UI, what the user is going to see, what the client sees at his view, like the user interface. And the controller interacts with the view and the model. And the model also interacts with the database. Okay, so now let's go to our view. So you will find a view down here, resource, views, and you will see the views here. We would want to arrange our system very well. So this is the welcome. Initially, they give you a welcome preview, like something that talks about Laravel and stuff. I would want you to just control A and delete everything that is there. We will be replacing what we deleted with what we are having in our index.html, right? Okay, so you can see that we have our HTML codes here. We would modify it to suit what we want, because we don't need most of the things that are here, we wouldn't need them. Now, we want to make our code much more organized and readable by anyone that comes in. So I would want you to create a folder called includes, where we are going to put our script and all other related links in. So in the includes, I'm going to cut the head. I'm going to cut the head, and in the include, I'm going to create a new file called the links.blade.php. So what Laravel, the extension is .blade.php, right? Okay, so I put it here, and I go back to my welcome. What I'm going to do is I'm going to write this method to fetch the location of that particular file I created. All right, and we come down here to the loader. We need a loader as well, so we are going to create a file called loader. Sorry. So what we want to do is we want to cut this loader from here and put it here. It helps in a way that if there is any problem, you know where to tackle. You wouldn't be looking through the codes to look for a component that is giving you headache. Okay, so what you want to do now is there's the head. Okay, so let's separate the head too as well. So this is more like components. In React, you call it components. Okay. That's the header, right? And there's the right sidebar. So it has two sidebar. This right sidebar is handling the settings. Okay, and this is the left sidebar. Alright, and then the main view. Okay, so let's separate our script too as well. Okay, so now that we've called all our we've separated them into models. What we want, I'm talking about this, like we've separated them, yeah, into parts. So what you want to do is you want to go back to the folder where your source you want to go back to the folder where the admin dashboard is, right? So you copy the SRC and the vendor folder. I want you to copy it and go to the directory where you want to create your project, right? So you go to where your project is down here, and you look for the public folder. So in the public folder, personally, I would want to create a new, you can paste it down here. You can paste it here. But then in the future, when you are building complex or like, when you are building other, when you are building web apps that has to do with different models or different parts, you would want to create a folder and put that particular style or JS that links to that model. Okay. So what you want to do is, when you go back, when you go to the, when you go to what we have now, let's see what we have now. Okay, I think we've not started the project. So let's start. Okay, so let's start the project. All right, so you can see that we have everything correctly. Everything is running correctly fine. Okay, you are not facing any problem. Our dashboard has been loaded successfully. But then this is not the advisable way to call or import the script in the CSS in Laravel. So in Laravel, sorry, we have an inbuilt this function. I would say it's a method, right? Called the asset. So that is where we use. Well, that's what we use to import each and everything that we need, like the CSS and the script. We are going to use the asset. When you use the asset in navigating or in routing, the CSS or the script will not be affected. But then when you leave it like this, and in the future we create route, you realize that when we visit a different route, the star or the CSS or the script will not work, which is a big no. So we don't want to face such problems. So we just have to add our script, our assets to it. And let me use this. So you can use a shortcut Command Control D. And you add your assets. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Come down here. Okay, so let's use the same strategy for the links too as well. All right, so let's go back to see if everything is working perfectly fine. So you can refresh and you see that all is working well. Yeah, so this is the right way to insert your template or your dashboard into your Laravel project. Yeah, I hope you found this video useful and you followed perfectly along well. Alright, so thank you for watching this video and share, subscribe to your friends too as well. So I'm going to put the link to download this dashboard in this video description. It's actually in my GitHub account. And it's one of my repos in my GitHub account, right? So when you download the dashboard, please do me a favor by liking it. Thank you very much.